Imagine walking into a bank to secure a mortgage for your first home, only for the loan officer to ask why you have defaulted on a $50,000 debt in a state you have never lived in. That is exactly what happened to Emily Carter. Her dream of owning a home, the dream she had worked toward for years, evaporated in front of her in a matter of minutes. The person who took out that massive loan in Emily's name lived right down the street. It was Jessica, her childhood best friend, a girl she had shared secrets with for 15 years, someone her parents had practically raised as a second daughter. Jessica did not need to run a complex cyber attack. She simply exploited the access Emily had freely given her. She used a password Emily had shared for an old high school project, logged into a laptop Emily had gifted her, and referenced a sticky note containing Emily's social security number that she had quietly pocketed from a summer job application years earlier. Emily's lawyer requested a formal investigation, and digital forensics quickly established a clear sequence of events. This animated timeline shows the loan application pinging an IP address in Ohio. That footprint was stamped weeks before the dotted line traces Jessica's physical move down to Texas. When we overlay Emily's text messages from that exact same period, a chilling picture emerges. Jessica was sending friendly, supportive messages about her desire for a fresh start, while simultaneously processing a fraudulent financial document on a computer sitting in her Ohio bedroom. The most dangerous data breaches rarely involve anonymous hackers on the dark web. They happen when someone weaponizes the intimate, overlooked details of your daily life. Back in Columbus, Ohio, Emily was trapped in a financial crisis. Her credit was ruined, and the interstate legal system moved at a crawl. She was forced to live a double life, acting completely normal at her marketing day job, then going home to spend every free hour drowning in police reports and fraud affidavits. Emily spent 18 months working 80-hour weeks, teaching herself digital strategy through free online courses because she couldn't afford a loan for tuition. She managed social media for small bakeries and local mechanics until 3 in the morning, trading sleep for every $100 check she could get. When she finally launched Carter Digital Solutions, she had to pay for every piece of software and hardware up front in cash, as no bank would issue her a line of credit. Scaling the business became a survival mechanism, a way to manually generate the security that Jessica had stolen from her. This dual access chart reveals the friction of Emily's recovery. The green bar graph climbs steadily as her agency signs new clients, but that progress is violently intersected by the flatlined red line of her ruined credit score. Even with a profitable business, her frozen credit made renting a new office or securing basic business financing impossible. Waiting for a judge to clear a name does nothing to pay the rent or restore a reputation. Emily chose to build a new foundation of value, creating an asset that was legally and practically untouchable by anyone else. Meanwhile, down in Austin, Texas, Jessica was living an entirely different reality. She used the $50,000 in stolen funds to manufacture an upscale lifestyle. She signed a lease on a luxury apartment, purchased a brand new car, and filled her closet with designer clothes. Jessica heavily documented this spending spree online, adopting the persona of a highly successful, self-made young entrepreneur. She carefully curated an image of wealth, and thousands of strangers began to follow her account, completely unaware of how that wealth was actually generated. This comparative diagram illustrates the mechanics of the fraud. On the left, Jessica's social media follower count rapidly ticks upward. On the right, Emily's loan balance continues to accumulate severe missed payment penalties, officially dropping into a collection status. Because the loan agreement was permanently anchored to Emily's social security number, Jessica had zero legal obligation to the debt. After a year of funding her fake life, she simply stopped making payments and walked away clean, leaving Emily to bear the crushing weight of the default. In the modern digital economy, a highly convincing illusion of success can be entirely manufactured using the stolen financial reality of someone else. 2 years after the initial shock at the bank, Emily's thriving agency was hired by a boutique clothing brand. The client wanted to expand their marketing reach and asked Emily's team to scout local social media influencers, specifically in the Austin market. During their routine research, an employee pulled up a profile that made Emily freeze. It was Jessica's perfectly curated page, boasting thousands of followers and posing as a business expert. The authentic business owner, who had spent 2 years grinding through legal paperwork and building a real agency from scratch, had just been hired to evaluate the fraudster who funded her fake public image with stolen money. Subpoenaed records from the Attorney General's office tracked the $50,000 asset leaving the Texas lending company, routing directly into a bank account registered to Jessica Miller. This verified paper trail gave Emily the legal standing to finally break her silence. Patience and strategic silence are often the most effective tools in a crisis. They give a fraudster the time and space to walk themselves directly into an inescapable trap. Emily utilized the audience she had authentically built to release a highly factual video. She laid out the exact timeline of her identity theft, the destruction of her credit, and for the first time, she named Jessica directly. The real-world consequences cascaded immediately. Local news outlets in Austin picked up the story. Brands immediately severed their sponsorships, and the audience Jessica had spent 2 years cultivating turned against her overnight. The exposure accelerated the legal process. Jessica was arrested in Texas, extradited back to Ohio, and eventually accepted a plea deal that mandated significant prison time alongside full restitution of the $50,000. Today, Emily lives in her newly purchased dream home. Her credit score is fully restored, and Carter Digital Solutions continues to expand its client roster across the Midwest. It can become the very foundation you use to build something even stronger than what was taken from you. Sometimes the very people who try to destroy you end up becoming the reason you finally discover exactly how strong you truly are.